Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So as you know, September 6th, an unauthorized book was released by the name of Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. It says it's by James T. Millwood for Kimberly A. Porter. However, after carefully reading the 60 pages myself, I was not that convinced that this came from Kim. Not only that, her ex, Mr. Al B. Shore, and father to her first son, Quincy, is upset because not only was he in the book, this book had Al B. Shore and Diddy in some very uncompromising positions together, and Al said that never happened. So he is clearing his name, and not only that, he admits that Kim was in the process of revealing everything, just as Cassie did, but she was silenced before she was able to. We're going to break down this complete story and so much more. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. The reviews on Kim Porter's unauthorized book, Kim's Lost Words, is pretty much giving fan fiction. There was some truth in there because obviously we've seen the movies, we've lived through Tupac and Biggie dying. There was some truth in there, but then within that truth, there were backstories that went behind the truth that could have been truthful, but then they would add something crazy in there, and it's like, come on, man, for real. I'm now going to tell you a part of the book, and the only reason why I'm explaining this part is because Al B. Shore is talking about it on Instagram. And I am glad Al cleared this up because after I read it, I was like, oh, hell no. There was a part in the book where they said Al B. Shore visited Kim's home while she was in a relationship with Diddy. The book states that Diddy was there. They were all sitting down. They had drinks. And Al B. Shore was pretty much like, you know what? It's hard seeing my friend with my ex, but as long as she's happy, I'm happy for her. Diddy propositions a three-way. Kim is reluctant. Next thing she knows, things are going on between those two without her, and she was grossed out. After reading the book, Al took to Instagram in a 3-part post saying the following, #PeepGame. For over a decade and a half, I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hopes to protect loved ones, avoid deaths, and tragedies that could have all been avoided. Despite this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, and medically silenced to cover up these crimes you're all now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me from exposing. It only aimed to prevent me from further sharing publicly the facts and insights that Lady KP, also known as Kim Porter, shared with me during our frequent and intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly by ending my life. I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the residence of Miss Kimberly Porter, including the publicist who assisted drafting this. It has come to my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices, which contained her original book notes. Original notes are distinct from the fabricated bullshit and offensive pages circulated via Amazon, which depict graphic sexual acts, including me, that never took place and were edited and added after Miss Porter's tragic murder. I urge you to consider who authorized such a fictitious publication without categorizing it as calculated fiction. The publicists and conspirators worked in concert from separate camps launching this campaign, which appears to be a very personal and a deliberate distraction from their involvement in covering horrific crimes, assisted in and perplexed the public for many years, which I have personally experienced and cautiously deemed just a medical crisis for legal reasons, until the rest of these atrocities were uncovered by authorities, making it more believable to a gullible public that has been fooled for so long. Miss Porter's missing devices, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contain the critical evidence that have been concealed. I'm convinced that evidence corroborates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to also concealing the alleged murders of several prominent artists, a situation that has left many bewildered, yet those who are immersed in the culture and familiar with the intricacies of the entertainment industry may have a clearer understanding of the obvious. It is with a heavy heart that I reflect on the legacy of our beloved Lady KP. It is truly disheartening to think that those she considered close friends and who were financially compensated by her perpetrators may have conspired with the perpetrator to obscure the truth and tarnish her name, my name, and her unfinished book notes with these ridiculous and unfounded narratives. The absence of Miss Porter leaves a void, depriving her of the opportunity to address these inaccuracies personally and to share her own factual memoirs detailing the brutal terror and madness she endured. Check all who text messages of those who serve in a PR capacity, as they have brilliantly and underhandedly crafted this fictitious story to service a personal vendetta. There's more. There's so much to unpack. Unfortunately, I'm the only survivor by the blessings of a medical team that initially gave up because of multiple system organ failures, septic, intubated on a ventilator for 38 days, and forced to visit death's doorsteps, but the God I serve and worship had another plan. Keep in mind that this is just the G-rated version of what I endured over a decade, plus to silence the OG. I also kept forensic records of every individual who was sent my way to set me up, track me, gaslight me, and allegedly cause harm to my system. Unfortunately, Kimberlina was taken from us way too soon, and before she could complete her true thoughts before the fake unauthorized edit released on Amazon, which the disappearance of her computer and vital evidence raises significantly more questions. It is evident that her potential to expose the realities of her personal abuses, being drugged, the sex trafficking and human trafficking she was privy to, akin to the brave actions of Mrs. Cassie Ventura, pose a threat to those profiting from such heinous activities. In a nutshell, Kimberly was allegedly taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Mrs. Cassie Ventura did by igniting the bonfire which brings us here today, with the avalanche that has brought Satan to their chambers. Let us honor the memory of Lady KP, acknowledging the strength, struggle she faced, and the truth she sought to reveal in her own personal notes, not this fake, unauthorized nonsense using my name to keep dragging me as social media punishment for exposing this years ago. There will be significant suit headed right for the heads of the responsible parties who dragged my name into this bullshit. Kim and I talked right up to a few days prior to her demise. She was in good health, and we are in such a great friend space, reminiscing about old times and celebrating news of our son's accomplishments. No affair, just great friends. Hashtag Warriors for Kim Porter. We must continue to advocate for justice and ensure that every one of the individuals who conspired against her are held accountable and prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. Thank you to all of the law enforcement agencies for their unwavering dedication to uncovering a portion of the truth. There's more. Rest in power, Lady KAP. Your true legacy will not be forgotten. Most importantly, please pray for the kids. There is no validation in my claims coming true. There has been way too much collateral damage and death everywhere. Hashtag BCAC, before coma, after coma, the Al B. Sure story, which will be coming soon. Well, according to Mr. Al B. Sure, the unauthorized book, Kim's Lost Words, is a fake, but Kim did have a memoir that she was writing. Unfortunately, someone broke into her home, stole her computers, and not only her computers, her mobile devices as well. But let Mr. Al B. Sure tell it, the authorities have her devices. Now, if you recall, Al was hospitalized in 2022. He fell ill, fell into a coma, and was in that coma for 3 whole months before miraculously waking up again. When he got up, he accused Diddy of being involved in it, and he's kept that stance ever since. Uptown Records started with 5 people: Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, Puffy, and Kim. All of them have either died or was getting ready to die. And if Al would have succumbed to what happened to him, the only person that would have been left is Diddy. You have to think, is this a coincidence? I don't know, maybe not. But with Al saying that the authorities are allegedly already in possession of her missing devices, a lot is going to come out in this complaint if this is indeed true. Let Al tell it. There was indeed a memoir that Kim was writing. Will we ever get to see it now that it's more than likely in evidence? Probably not, but I'm sure we will see it all play out during this trial. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about Al coming out and putting Mr. Diddy on blast? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.